Welcome to CineQuest Video. On this episode, we're going to continue with our video game films. And we're going to be talking about Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Double feature.
It seemed only logical to do a double feature on this one because, you know, they're pretty much the same. That's a one connected story.
Yeah, they are actually. I mean, the second one picks up immediately where the first one leaves off.
That's right.
Like almost by the fucking exact scene. Yeah.
Right. And before we continue on, just introduce everyone. My name is Ray, and then we also have...
Tis I, not Ray.
Yes. And in Pacific Northwest Studios...
This is Daniel.
And joining us again...
Bryce.
All right.
Young Bracy in the house tonight.
So yeah, and again, it's been a while since we've recorded, so we're just kind of trying to get back in the groove of things.
Yeah,
it's been about 2 months, so you'll probably see this episode sometime in maybe April.
Yeah.
So here we go.
We're all keeping busy, right?
Yeah. So Roland, as usual with these podcast episodes, you're gonna give us some more information.
Yep.
Regarding the fact of the video game leading up to the movie.
Right. So, like I said, this is Mortal Kombat, which I mean, pretty much everybody has like at least the slightest idea of what that is because it was just so goddamn popular when it started in the early 90s. I was trying to find when.
Did anyone's parents have an issue with this game?
Surprisingly, mine never did, and I've played most of them. I haven't owned most of them, but I've played most of them.
Were you going to ask when MK1 dropped? Roll?
Yes, it was the game.
It was 92.
Thank you. Okay, so Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
MK1
like
was
I was just gonna kind of keep it loose. Early 90s, you know, was when the whole craze started. Originally, like it was created by Midway Games. If any of you guys have had any sort of experience with them, up until Mortal Kombat, they really much they pretty much had just sort of like really like old as fuck like arcade Atari titles kinds of things like Centipede and Invader.
And they're also the ones that made that
Galaga,
Cruising USA. Like did they make all that stuff?
Yeah, they did. But and that was also actually during the same time. Like they had some other projects, but Mortal Kombat, as far as I understand it, has always been sort of like one of Midway's flagship titles. Like it's what they were known for. And so much, in fact, that when Midway went bankrupt and got bought out by Warner Brothers, that was how they, if I'm not mistaken, that was how they pitched their company to them. Excuse me. That was how Midway pitched their company to Warner Brothers to invest in them, and so like that they could reboot their franchise because they went bankrupt.
When did they go bankrupt?
I don't recall exactly. It was.
It had nothing to do with the fact that they're rebooting this, right?
No. They went bankrupt because like at one point, like all of their games just stagnated. They sucked dick and weren't worth a shit. I mean that in the worst possible way, you know, sweaty, unclean, and gross, and whoever's into that, you know, whatever. No offense, but
because they've been around for a long time, right? Midway,
yes, they have. They have been around since like again, like what they're mostly what they started with before Mortal Kombat was just like a lot of Atari titles, you know, again, Galaga.
I was thinking weren't they named Midway because like they had like on those like carnival type things, like they would a lot of the not carnivals, but carnivals would have like arcades set up, and I think they've been around for like a long ass time, like when arcades were first coming around.
Let me see.
I thought they were mainly known for like car racing games or something.
I remember the Cruising USA. I don't think they did Road Rash, did they? No, that was like that might have been something else, but yeah, I remember Cruising USA was the big one.
Yeah. That shit was fun, man.
Yeah, man. You got to see the girls in the bikini when you won at the end.
Right.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
The only motivation to win the game.
Here's actually, so yeah, it was in 2010, Midway declared bankruptcy.
So actually that like really comes in line with how all of a sudden like various Warner Brothers properties are fair game for skins in like MK11 and shit, you know, because you get the Joker, you get fucking RoboCop.
Oh yeah, so I'll get it. I was thank you for bringing that up, but that's definitely something I'd like to bring up. when we get that far into the franchise, because they didn't start doing like the guest cameos until they actually were bought out and they resurfaced as NetherRealm Studios. That was when they started introducing a lot of those.
But that's like coincided with like the whole like Warner Brothers bullshit, right? When they sold them or whatever, then they just kind of like reformulated as a new company that's actually one company that's under the guidance of the other that bought them.
I think the last one that they made before, I can't recall if this was the last one they made before they went bankrupt, or if it was the first one that they made when they got bought out. It was a shit title though, and at this point, like, it was just not looking good for them. It was DC versus Mortal Kombat. I don't know if you guys had ever heard of that game.
I don't recall that game at all.
It's absolute trash. They took out the fatalities for that one because, you know, it included, all the iconic characters, Superman,
Nobody wants
Wonder
to see
Woman,
Superman get beheaded.
Exactly. I disagree, but the studios didn't.
Well, yeah,
they were the ones that were like, no, you can't do that. You know, no, shame. We can't let them die. So they figured out how to do all these kinds of other things instead. But I think they had like brutality kinds of things where they would just knock the fuck out of each other, sort of stuff. But that game was absolute trash. In every aspect. Like, it was a good idea. I think they were trying to sort of jump in on the whole like crossover versus fighting series like Capcom Capcom had going.
Marvel versus Capcom.
Yeah, Street Fighter versus X-Men, Marvel versus Capcom
versus fucking.
Oh, there's a ton of them. Capcom versus CVS. I think was one of them. There's
the pharmacy.
CVS versus Walgreens.
That one was Capcom versus SNK. That was the CVS one. There were a lot of them, and they were very successful with it. And so they were. I assume they were trying to sort of jump in on that particular trend, and it failed miserably.
Isn't Injustice made by the same?
Yes. Injustice was made by NetherRealm Studios, and it's a good series. It's and
that one kind of has like fatality type things, doesn't it? Or no?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I have the second one on Steam that I need to get a fighting arcade stick so I can play that enjoy it properly. But that was another one where they started the trend of including guest characters. So there's like Hellboy, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All four of them are in there.
Yeah, I saw that. I know that. But it's Warner Brothers. What the fuck? Why don't they have Bugs Bunny and shit? They should do that.
Man, getting Bugs Bunny being beheaded,
dude.
That would be pretty sweet.
I love seeing Hellboy on there. Like I fucking love.
Spawn's on there too.
He is in the latest Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Which, so yeah, like that was actually I look at it as like a benefit that like they're able to use those characters in there and like without any problems, because like I love that shit. It's just fucking cool as shit. But excuse me, back to Midway Games, back to the original Mortal Kombat stuff. Like Daniel said, the first Mortal Kombat was released in arcades in 92, roughly, I assume. I'm not gonna really bother with that specifics.
Yeah, no, little like factoid nerd bullshit to throw in here. So one of the series regulars, Sub-Zero, these characters have their own backstory and shit.
Right. Yeah.
So I was hopping on the Wikipedia today, and
it gets kind of confusing because they've rebooted it before, from when it originally started, and so the stories have jumped around.
It's probably irrelevant, but the Sub-Zero from the first game is not the Sub-Zero in game 2.
Right. The first Sub-Zero, he was kind of an anti-hero. He was, sort of good, not necessarily, but his name was Bihan, and he dies. Scorpion kills him in the first game,
like in the time between the first game and the second game,
right?
So then his brother fucking takes the out Sub-Zero.
I forgot his name.
Power shit.
Right. Yes, because they're all trained in the same way. The Lin Kuei, which are cryomancer ninjas, they all have similar powers, and they're related. They're brothers. I was trying to remember the second Sub-Zero's name, because Sub-Zero is not a name so much as it is a title that's passed along.
Right.
Let me see. Sub-Zero.
I had it earlier, but
I did too.
I didn't know any of this.
I did too.
Whoops.
That's actually canon within the up to MK11 because the original Sub-Zero later on after Bihan, after he dies, he's sent to the NetherRealm, which is Mortal Kombat's version of hell. That's where everybody goes, and he's twisted by I think it was so there are two sorcerers.
Quan Chi,
yes, Quan Chi,
or whatever,
Quan Chi. So there are two main sorcerers in this series: Shang Tsung, which everyone that's seen the movie knows who he is, and anyone that's played the games who has seen Quan Chi, which he's this like bald, pale face looking goth bastard.
Yeah, it's like if the dude, like the God of War guy, Kratos,
right? Yeah, if Kratos was like a nerd.
AIDS.
Yeah. Okay, so. Yes, the Sub-Zero that everyone knows is current. The good guy. His name is Kuai Liang, and originally though Kuai Liang was his code name was Hydra. Excuse me, Tundra was Tundra, and then his brother is killed by Scorpion because at some point Scorpion is sort of tricked into thinking that Bihan killed his clan. The Shirai Ryu, Shirai Ryu.
Yeah, so it's like this like clan retribution bullshit.
Yeah, and Scorpion's killed and he's sent to hell, and he comes back from Netherrealm as a revenant. Like he can't die. That's why we see Scorpion in the second movie. In the first movie, like he gets his ass kicked, sideways by Johnny Cage, which is super lame, but whatever.
Which was kind of like a fact that I didn't really care to find out. The fact that he shows up in the second one, I was just like, I guess.
Okay,
whatever.
so yeah, it's because he's a ghost. He can't really die.
I mean, I would assume that after he fucking rips off his mask in
the second movie, but one character I was like pissed to not see was Noob Saibot because
he wasn't in there.
So that character was like retconned to be Sub-Zero, the
original.
Version,
what I was the reason why I brought up
from Quan Chi.
That was why I brought up the sorcerers, and I wanted to get into that. Quan Chi takes control of him and sort of twists him around, and he becomes Noob Saibot, which I don't know if you might know.
It's the backwards.
Yes, of the creators. It was Boone and Tobias. I forget their first names. I was just looking at it. Hold on, I got it right here. These were the guys that originally created Mortal Kombat. It was,
but originally the Noob Saibot was just like a.
It was a joke name. Right? Yeah, it was a joke name and a
character,
like a cameo. Like you couldn't play as him. And you could sort of fight him, but like that's the thing. It's hard to explain. Like there have been a lot of like sort of hidden like half-assed characters throughout all of the games. They're like Reptile was in the first one. It was Reptile, and you couldn't play as him. You had to do a few things, and you would fight him in the bottom of a pit stage. I forgot specifically what you had to do to fight him, but he's basically like a color palette change of the Sub-Zero and Scorpion's character. So he's just a green ninja. And I think I don't recall I don't think he had any abilities in that one, but he doesn't become canon until the second game, and that's when like you see him as Reptile, like he's in the movie. He's got the
he pulls the mask off. He's a reptile.
Yeah, he spits acid. He's got the long tongue and I'm trying to it's not showing me their names. That's stupid. Here we go. Ed Boon and John Tobias. Those were the guys. And so so Noob Saibot did not originally have lore. They fleshed it out later on, and it's fucking cool as fuck how they fold that in, because like what happens is that Bihan goes to hell, he gets controlled and twisted by Quan Chi and becomes Noob Saibot. And then his brother, the current Sub-Zero, like finds out and goes to look for him and like to talk to him. And the thing is that like Bihan is a bastard at this point. He's like, oh no, I remember you, but I don't fucking care. Like I'm an asshole.
Quick question. You said like the first one had no lore attached to it.
Right. So like the way
do you have, I just wanted to know like what made them choose these specific characters? Like, is there like lore that they drew from? That
I don't quite recall.
Characters got their name and their look.
Like, so you can't like there is some stuff in like a lot of it like jump to Annihilation where Raiden was one of the sons of the Elder Gods or whatever.
So a lot of these sorts of things,
like
there is right. Yes,
Thor.
There is a Raiden. So they pull in a lot of Chinese Western mythology, religion.
So it was like dashes of stuff,
but like of actual mythology that was already established.
They're adapted from those. The idea of Netherrealm, the idea of Earthrealm, the idea of like other dimensions.
Well, that's why I was just curious because I mean, like, how did they fart out these characters if there was no lore behind it?
One big question that I came up with, I've got it on a post-it here. I've got a whole thing. Like I just was watching Annihilation earlier and was like, wait, what about this? What about this? What about this? So one question I want to pose to the group now is, So the whole thing is, bringing, Outworld or Outerworld, whatever the fuck they call it, to merge with our plane. So in this multiverse, is it really just like a dualiverse or some bullshit? Because
so they're all within the same dimension. They're all within the same dimension. It's just a different plane within that. Like how
Sindel makes is the fate of the universe. Or sorry, it's the fucking gods.
Yes.
The fate of the universe will be decided as it always has been, or as it should have been, in Mortal Kombat.
Because these things have been happening forever. Like that's just, I don't think they really go into detail about why it started or what. For that kind of thing, I don't actually know if they've even explained that much. It's just something that's
universe, and it's only two planes that could do this.
Well,
but Mortal Kombat winners keep it like this.
Yes.
So
Outworld is not actually Outworld. It's originally it was called Edenia. And Shao Kahn came in and conquered it and changed it. So he's actually he controls several places. He just the whole area itself is just called Outworld, but it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's made up of other realms he's conquered and sort of just, incorporated into his territory. Right. And so that's the current Mortal Kombat. He's trying to fold Earthrealm into Outworld. And I think that's one of the last places that he needs to pretty much just have his whole run of the entire universe kind of thing, because this isn't anything new. Shao Kahn is, and I guess we didn't explain that, but in the movie he's called the Emperor. In the games he's called Shao Kahn. He is just some rat bastard conqueror god, godish guy that goes around conquering all these places.
Genghis Khan was a fucking god.
Well, right? It's in the name.
That's simple enough. To describe who he is and how he runs. Runs his shit. He is smart. He is brutal.
Yeah. He's a motherfucker. Anybody that's played the games has fought Shao Kahn is he's a pain in the ass. He just fucks you up every way sideways.
But he didn't show up until
the second Mortal Kombat. Right? Yeah, he's the boss of the second Mortal Kombat. The boss of the first Mortal Kombat game, which we were sort of starting, is Shang Tsung. And unlike in the movie, he's played by Kerry Takagawa. In the first Mortal Kombat, he's an old man because Shang Tsung's not human either. He's just from Outworld or some other realm. He served Shao Kahn.
Lopan.
Yeah, actually, pretty much, because he's taught.
That's not totally inaccurate.
It's not he uses soul magic to sustain himself, and the more souls he gets, the younger he can make himself be, and that's what happens in the second one. After he gets his ass kicked in the first game by Liu Kang, they get another chance somehow in the second one to have another fight, and Shao Kahn just gives him more power. And that's when Shang Tsung actually becomes a playable character. He becomes young, and that's actually he's actually really badass. He's a really good high tiered fighter in the game, and continues to be throughout the rest of the series.
He's the one that could he could change the different characters, right? Yeah.
Right. So he can morph into any character. There's a really cool secret fatality morph that he gets in the second one. So the mid boss in the first one is Goro, and then it's Shang Tsung. In the second one, it's Kintaro, and then it is Shao Kahn. Kintaro is one of Goro's generals. He looks just like him. He's got the forearms. The only difference is he's got tiger stripes going down him, and he's bigger. He's even more Goro was enough of a pain in the ass in the first one. He just fucking spams fireballs because the culture that he's from, the Shokan, or what was the name of them? I think it was the Shokan. They're basically fucking dragons. They spit fire. They have the scales, all that shit. They're fucking dragons. And in the second one, Kintaro is somewhat sort of like that. I don't quite know if I want to say he's probably an offshoot of that particular tribe. Instead of spitting fire, he just fucking jumps across the screen and stomps on you, and he spams that shit. You can't block that. I don't know if you guys, I guess I should ask before I go back into it, but what is y'all's
history? Basically.
Yeah, what's y'all's experience with Mortal Kombat? Ray?
Arcade.
Yeah.
The tilt. and
yeah.
Harlingen and
gone,
Sega
so-
Genesis.
Oh yeah, big time.
Oh, the Genesis.
Genesis. That's
version.
about it. Like I would play
The Genesis version was cool.
I would play.
because-
The only person who I knew who had a Genesis was Joe.
Did you use
for
the 3-button
mixtape
controllers
people.
or the 6-button though for the Genesis?
I think it was
guy,
the
man.
three.
Fuck yeah,
three button.
that's the only way you could. Yeah, because if you
I
use
didn't even
the
know
three-
about the 3 fucking button
Dude, it
controller until
sucked.
I was like older and I kept
it was impossible to play Mortal Kombat with the 3-button controller. Like the fucking controls were so weird. Some of the buttons would double. Like
To be honest with you, I don't remember
It's
what
really weird
controller it
'cause
was.
it was hard as fuck to use. You probably used the 3. What was cool about the Genesis version of those is that they included the blood and everything, which was censored.
Was it censored on
And
what?
in the Nintendo, on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I never played it on there, so I don't
played the Super
know.
Nintendo
Yeah,
version too.
I-
I was the first.
I was
that
also-
That's what I
Sega-
played first.
I was
Yeah,
all
that's the
Sega
first one.
Genesis.
Because
man.
I was like
it was like
6
some kind of weird like
buttons.
sweat.
Yeah,
like gray.
so everybody everybody sweat a lot, instead of blood or whatever. The fatalities were still there, but there's just a lot of sweating.
Yeah.
People would get torn in half, and instead of seeing blood, you'd see
sweat.
just like water.
Yeah,
gushing out
the
of
body
everybody.
is made of
I was
water.
like, wow, he was that guy. Like,
So speaking of the blood,
rip that
our
bladder
friend
in
of the
half.
show, Chris, and I were talking about Mortal Kombat today, and he's like the first, like cheat code or whatever that I know, and he goes to a little sequence, and I was like, oh, was that for fucking what's that, Metal Slug or whatever, some sort of like
Contra, up, down, left, right,
Contra,
hold
yeah.
A, B, start.
And he was like, no, it was for Mortal Kombat to enable the blood.
Yes.
You could enable the blood.
So like in the arcade and I think in some of the console versions, in the consoles there were like little.
There was blood in the arcade though, right?
Yeah,
If
no,
I- from what I
absolutely. But
recall,
in the
yeah.
consoles they were censored here and there, or specifically Nintendo because they're pussies like that. We're family friendly.
They're like the
but
Disney version of fucking video games.
Yeah,
man.
but they're
Come
full
on.
of shit because you're still like
I still like the Switch
But
thing.
it's being
Which I
beat
don't
up.
have.
They don't die. It's fine.
Yeah, right. It's okay. It's just a flesh wound. You just
Yeah,
kicked his head off his body.
They're
He's
just
fine.
they're
It'll
just
go back
getting
together,
dehydrated. It's
It'll get back.
okay.
It'll grow back.
Yeah.
So before you,
Some sunshine
the
on a
way
good walk.
the way the cheat codes work in Mortal Kombat is really cool, is because it was actually incorporated into the game. Like it wasn't one of those like, oh, let me do this before the start screen, or like, or as the game is paused or anything. So when you pick your characters, you have a title card of them facing off that flashes on the screen, and then you have like some little boxes on the bottom. I don't know if you guys remember those. And you hit a few buttons, and it changes the screen of each box to like a different icon. So you have like the Mortal Kombat icon. You'd have like a dragon or whatever, whatnot. And if you put them in the right combination, they do different things. I don't know. I don't remember if that. Okay, so I know that wasn't in the first one. I don't remember if it was in the second one. That might be the one that Chris is maybe referring to one of the first two. But I do know for a fact from 3 up that it was always included at that point.
Right.
And I always thought it was cool as shit, because in the arcades when you do that stuff, you just pound on the buttons to see what the fuck happens, and all of a sudden you activate big head mode or some stupid shit.
That's how I still play video games today, Roland.
So Bryce, like what you said you remembered playing the one on the Super Nintendo first, or was it the Genesis? Oh,
Yeah, I had
with
the
six
Super
buttons?
Nintendo version first, and
Was it the like first Mortal Kombat, or
it was Mortal Kombat 1
Oh, shit.
and 2, I think, actually. But yeah, I eventually, once I got the Sega Genesis, I started playing on there. But same thing with Ray, like I arcade, then the Super Nintendo, and then eventually the Sega Genesis.
Daniel, what about you, man?
A little bit arcade with 2, 3, and 4. Even though 4 was like shitty.
4 was the first when we talked about this in the Street Fighter episode. 4 was the first one to start including three-dimensional models, fully 3D models. 1
And
through 3
it was so bad.
Yeah, it was. Oh god, the way they talk,
it was
they
like-
would. And then the cutscenes, it's like, and I again, I'm gonna say the same joke. I probably said it before, but like every time they would say hello, it'd be like they were having a spasm. Hey, how's it going? You're going to die now, Sub-Zero. Like it was the weirdest shit. Like it just looked so janky.
Had Tekken come out at that point?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so.
No,
What
Tekken
about
was
Virtual
cool.
Fighter?
Like,
Yes.
they're talking
Oh
like
yeah.
Tekken 3
Absolutely.
at the time that-
Are you
yeah,
kidding?
because,
fucking Sega Saturn had already been out at that point.
Yeah,
That
I was a big fan.
Virtua
of
Fighter was fucking cool as fuck.
Virtual Fighter?
Virtua Fighter was cool as fuck. And there was
Yeah, it
like,
was
so was
fun.
Battle Arena Toshinden. Tekken as well. Tekken was the one that really started to take
Virtual
that show.
Fighter made me feel like I knew what I was doing.
Soul Calibur, which I think was
Calibur,
called
I remember
Brave
that.
Soul. I want to say for the first. I forget the name of it.
I remember Soul Calibur.
But fuck yeah, I loved Soul Calibur. That was another one that they did a pretty good job of including cameo characters. You could play as fucking Darth Vader, Yoda.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And I
am
never
forgetting?
experienced any of this shit.
On the original Xbox, this was a cool thing
didn't have no
that
quarters.
Soul Calibur 2 actually did. I don't know if you guys knew about it. It was the Xbox.
exclusive characters,
Right, yeah, the
for,
GameCube and
per
the
console.
PS2.
Yeah, like Link on the Nintendo.
Yes,
and shit.
and he was a really good fucking character. Holy fuck! On the GameCube, you could he had all of his tools. You could bomb the shit out of anyone, use arrows, fuck all of that stuff. On the PS2, it was Heihachi from Tekken. The diaper guy with the big hair.
Yeah.
And on the Xbox, which they had the best one, was Spawn. He was fucking cool as fuck. Like I never got to play as him in that one. I would watch a lot of videos of that shit, and it was really cool.
Say, as someone who did that, it was fucking badass. I played Spawn all the goddamn time.
He was a
It
good fucking character with that big ass axe of his. That shit was cool as fuck. Okay, so
as far as MK11 my history, today I was playing MK11
I need to get it. I want to play.
in prep, but then I watched Annihilation or actually both movies, but really my shit is fucking MK3. I fucking love Nightwolf. Striker is fun.
Striker is a bastard. That fucking Uzi and those goddamn grenades. Those fucking grenades. I hate that shit. God damn it. They were, exactly.
Nick,
you could always oh man, he was so annoying.
Just ping him down with like stupid little Uzis like, oh yeah,
I fucking hated him.
He's mentioned in Mortal Kombat Annihilation,
yes,
but I don't
he
think they
is.
show him, do they?
No, they don't. So
what
like
the fuck was the impetus for that? It's like, hey, let's get this guy who shoots guns.
I was
just to get the kids excited. I told you.
Like they're just trying to include as many different little shout outs and like little Easter eggs and stuff as possible. So Daniel, you had said you were sort of like regretting not seeing Noob Sabat in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, but I actually think he was in there. When
with the copy, dude.
Yes, when Ermac is fighting Sonya and he does his little thing.
Like, is that the nod?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe so because there's no other reason for it. Ermac does not have that ability in the game. Ermac is within game canon. What he actually is he's a conglomeration of all the souls that Shang Tsung used to have. And they take on their own personality and whatnot, and that's what Ermac is. He's basically sort of like an undead ghost legion or whatever, and it's cool as fuck. But I don't believe Ermac was playable until.
No, he was playable in 3.
He wasn't playable in 3, right? Yeah, I think in on the PlayStation or something. I don't remember if he was in the arcade or not. Because the PlayStation had Mortal Kombat Trilogy, I think, or I forgot what it was called.
3 was also on SNES because most of the time playing 2 and 3 was via ROMs, actually.
Well, that's how I play it now. But like I used to, it was odd. Like I had a lot of family that owned the Mortal Kombat games, and we would just hang out and play. And so I played a lot of the third one. So that being said, like what are your all's favorite characters that you like would fuck with? Throughout that you can remember of any of them kind of thing. Like, so like you played the first
Liu Kang and fucking Raiden because I feel like I mastered the random art of pushing buttons to where I would get their like moves down pretty
you
good.
always do that fucking flying thunder or whatever the fuck.
Flying thunder, twirl, or the fucking kick. The bicycle kick.
Because that was the easiest shit to do and it was cool. Like
and I think my muscle memory randomly went like. Oh, we just randomly pushed the button, not knowing what I was doing, and then I just fucking
and you just happen to hold it for a second, and that's
and then I would be like, okay, my thumb goes this way, so I'm gonna keep doing it over and over again.
Gotcha, bitch. Let me do that again. Block. Oh, fuck you.
Well, yeah, I mean, like you either get to the point where you can keep doing the same move and corner somebody to where they get really angry, or they end up blocking it, and then I'm fucked.
And you turtle them or whatever. Like,
so
you get them with block damage, and then they want to kill you after.
Well, I mean, no one likes someone to pull the same fucking move on somebody. It's fucking annoying.
Which was really fun to me because in the
you did it all the time.
No, because I knew how to fucking break that shit. Like in Mortal Kombat 3, they included the run button. So whenever someone would block a lot, what you could do is you could just fucking dash at them, and you hit. I forget if it was low punch or low kick to throw. You can't block that, and so you could actually run at them and fucking throw them, and then run at them again and spam it. So like the way they try to block everything, you could just fucking throw them into.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that like anytime I played with someone who actually owned a system, if I would go to someone's house and I say, namely Joe, he had the Sega Genesis. Yeah. I go over and if I could get him in a corner, like he'd get really fucking angry because I would just like, it's a cheap shot, you know?
Yes, it is.
And then like,
it's great.
And then he would have to like come at me with like his moves that he's been like practicing all fucking week. And then I'd be like, I'd little giants his ass and be like, one time,
come on, Joe, you're training.
I'd little giants his ass and say, yeah, but I beat you one time. So like, there, that's all I need.
Man, ready to even face him in honorable combat?
Fuck that. Right? No, it's all about who wins. What about you, Bryce? So
I've always sucked at fighting games. I was okay at Street Fighter. I could never get the fucking fatalities in Mortal Kombat,
I could never myself. Like I remember one, and that's it.
I played 3.
Oh,
honestly,
2.
I'll be 100% honest
remember
with you guys.
Now.
My most experience with Mortal Kombat is 1 and 2. I did play 3 a bit, and I started playing 10 when it came out.
10 is really cool.
Yeah,
that's actually one of the better ones. 10 and 11 are.
You know, I haven't played Mortal Kombat in like over a decade.
Or just in general. Oh, okay.
No, just in general over a decade. I haven't played.
Well, it's been a while for me too. The last time I played it was like I said 10 when it released, but
yeah.
I would probably say since I played 2 mostly, I liked Katana and I liked Kung Lao a lot, but those are my characters. I don't know.
Kung Lao is cool as fuck.
But yeah, man, like when 3 came, I didn't really get to play too much at 3, but
I think 3 was the one I played like almost the most.
Yeah.
I've okay. So Daniel, what about you, man? I'll go last.
Scorpion and Nightwolf.
That's right, Nightwolf. Nightwolf was cool as fuck because
Did you throw an axe with that guy?
Yeah. And he had another thing. Yeah, he'd throw a spirit axe or whatever. But
I just love the whole.
That's what he did. That was his thing, right?
Spectral spirit.
He actually had
shamanistic, bullshit. It's just cool. It's like fun flavor for Mortal Kombat.
He was one of the few characters
in the spirit world, asshole.
Yeah, that's how I got into anthropology. Yeah, like, what about his people? Hey,
culture. Nightwolf was really cool because he was one of the few guys that could reflect projectiles back at everybody. He had a thing that was just like he put up a little shield, and if they threw shit at you, he just knock it back at them, which is really fucking useful because that was one of the things that people always spam that kind of shit.
Do you think that was like a direct answer to fucking T-Hawk? Like, do you think that he's supposed to be like their T-Hawk?
maybe I don't know because
guys, so like Street Fighter, Capcom's got a fucking Native American character, man. We gotta get that going.
The
thing is, like, you can see that character like within quite a few franchises. Like you mentioned, T-Hawk in Street Fighter. It's Nightwolf in Mortal Kombat. Killer Instinct. It's T-Hawk again, actually, if I'm not mistaken, or Thunderhawk. Which is another. He's the one with the mohawk and the 2 axes.
Fucking Killer Instinct, man.
Fuck yes, I love that character. I was on the Chris today earlier.
I don't remember seeing it.
Once again, the same friend of the show, and we're talking about Mortal Kombat.
The most electric man on social media.
Killer Instinct. He was like, "Oh shit!"
I fucking love that game. It's the only game you could play, man, where a fucking Native American hits you with his mohawk.
Yeah.
Like he just boom, boom.
Well, Roland, you said that there was a Native American character through all franchises, but I don't remember seeing Primal Rage having a Native American dinosaur.
Fuck off, man. You're kidding me with the fucking raptors and apes and shit, fucking dinosaurs.
Nobody played Primal Rage? I used to like
Primal Rage is cool, man.
So the Native Americans were there. They were your servants that you stepped on or whatever in the fucking mini games.
I don't remember seeing Tenochtitlan in there, man, or Quetzalcoatl or anything.
We had Vertigo. I mean, I was gonna say Vertigo, but they're all fucking gods.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I knew.
The fucking snake raptor dude.
Yeah, that's right.
Fucking Primal Rage is awesome. Holy shit, I haven't thought about that one. I had some of the action figures of Talon.
The super fun OG game. What was it, Clay Fighters?
Oh yeah,
Clay Fighter.
The last one I played was Clay Fighter 63 1/3. It was on the 64 because they were joking.
Fuck, put it on the 64.
Fuck yes, dude. And that was one of the ones. They had some cool ass cameos. They had a Booger Man from any of those. That's the beer. I have a beer bubble. Let me just
some cameos.
So they had. I was trying to remember the cameos from there. There was Booger Man. I think Earthworm Jim was in one of them. No,
nice.
I'm probably wrong about that one. I feel like They had some.
That'd be dope as fuck, though, man.
I forget like where.
Fuck, I remember Clay Fighter.
I fucking love that game. It was actually really hard. Like
I remember.
to play.
I always thought it was interesting too because it was made by Interplay.
Yes,
I don't know if anybody remembers.
Just weird as
Did
fuck.
anybody ever play Stone Keep?
No.
Okay.
I mostly.
That's the only game from
Interplay for me was Fallout.
Oh, they made Fallout.
Yeah, dude.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. The original.
Funny how these companies go so defunct because
And then
Bethesda
they
owns
changed.
Fallout, right?
Okay, so my characters that I played with, because here, like I've played most of the Mortal Kombat games. I own a lot of the ones on PlayStation, and I played some of the offshoots. I don't know if you guys were aware of them, but like Midway tried to sort of branch out the series from just straight fighting to like sort of action platformers.
Yeah.
There was Mortal Kombat Mythologies on the PlayStation and 64. That game fucking sucked.
There's that fucking Sub-Zero game or whatever.
Yes, that was it.
The same one.
That was the same. Yes, Mortal Kombat Mythologies. Excuse me. It's actually the full title. The full title is Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero. Excuse me. So there was a really cool one that they actually tried making. There was an action game called Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. That was, I believe, Xbox exclusive, where you play as Liu Kang and Kung Lao, and you could play as double. It was pretty fucking cool, man. Like my brother and I loved that game. It was really easy to get into. There was like three buttons and jump.
Yeah.
And like it went through
3 buttons.
well, like for combos and shit.
Seems like
whatever.
more my style.
Like
Maybe you
no,
should check it out, right?
you'd probably dig it.
For Mortal Kombat Mobile,
And it was I want to say it was set a little after the third title because like Noob Sabat was in there, the Nether Realm was in there with where you'd meet Scorpion. Kintaro was in there. He's one of the bosses. So was Shao Kahn. Like it was really fucking cool. I'm trying to remember. There was one on the PlayStation. I think it was called Mortal Kombat Special Forces, and I think in that one was dog shit. I think that one you played as Jax and Sonya Blade.
Oh, that makes sense.
And I think that one went through. I think that one was supposed to be sort of like a
Mortal Kombat
like a bridge
shooter.
like a bridge. Fuck, that would have been cool as fuck. It was supposed to be a bridge
That's
between
a
the
striker
first
game,
and the
man.
second titles because you guys remember in Mortal Kombat 2, like when Jax was first introduced, he had metal arms.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was Shang Tsung, I forget. Like one of them, he got his arms fucking ripped off.
Yeah.
And they never like showed that, and I believe that was actually explained in Special Forces.
Later went on to go star in Twisted Metal as Axel.
As Axel.
Yeah.
Nice.
wow.
So
That's a game. That's a game I also do like.
Twisted Metal's a cool. It was a pretty cool. It's a pretty cool series. I liked that one. But I also
Aren't
liked.
they rebooting that bullshit?
I don't know. It was rebooted in Twisted Metal Black. Like there was like Twisted Metal 1, 2, and I think Black was a reboot of the series, which was supposed to make it so dark or whatever the fuck. Hence the name. I don't know. I have not. Like that one kind of fell off my radar for quite some time. But
Understandably so.
I've always loved like Destruction Derby-ish, type like Mario Kart-ish games like that were not Nintendo, so like even though there were like a few that like Diddy Kong Racing was actually really cool. Crash Team Racing was cool. That wasn't Nintendo, that was PlayStation. But they were like very much in the Disney-ish span of things. But specifically, like I loved the fucking more like visceral graphic ones. So like, did you guys ever play Vigilante 8? That one was another really cool one where
negative.
It was just pretty much the same thing as Twisted Metal. Only I think you could like destroy like a lot more of the environments and shit. It was a PlayStation title. Nope. Okay, but anyways, so like going back to my thing about my characters, I've played most of them, but the ones I always sort of gravitated back to was Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Smoke, Robot Smoke in the Mortal Kombat 3. In Mortal Kombat 3, my main characters was Scorpion and Smoke, and I loved them because I would just fucking kick the shit out of anyone. Not in the arcades, like in the home consoles. In the arcades, forget that shit. You get fucked sideways.
Honestly, I wish we had Orly here to confirm that fucking story. Because honestly, I don't entirely believe it.
I can buy that because both those characters in MK3 have like sneaky. I'm here now. I'm here. I'm gonna fuck you up from another angle.
Yeah. And I loved
gimmicks.
it. I loved it so
totally
much.
Like Roland's play style for a lot of shit. So.
For life. I'm here. I'm not here.
It's funny, but like,
I'm gonna sneak. I'm gonna sneak you.
It's a valid play style, but that's just like what he does in like other games and shit.
It's fun. Like
the game of life.
So okay.
I'm just saying, I'm not surprised. You know,
but I would play.
I thought that like Sub-Zero would be in there just because like
Sub-Zero is actually my favorite. Sub-Zero is my favorite because there's just so many things that he can do. Those fucking ice clones, the fucking like ice, the floor freeze, like he has that low kick slide that just like shoots him across the floor. He makes I think I said the ice clones already, but like if you touch them, like you get frozen yourself. Like he's got like all kinds. He's super fucking versatile. It's fun as fuck for me to be able to just to be able to mess with people. But
look, I'm gonna say like I don't remember playing any Mortal Kombat with you when we lived together at the fucking Moonlight apartment.
Never did.
But any video game we did play, I did not want to play it anymore because it's just fucking annoying playing with this guy. Because I mean, I'm not good at video games. He knows it, and he just fucking wants to just show it up.
Do I? I don't remember that. I always remember trying to be.
Your spirit.
So like,
he always tried to get me to play the video games, but I never wanted to because I was like,
this is why you don't play games.
Because like,
I'm
traumatized. I got PTSD. Right?
It's my fucking.
He would fucking be like, "Hey, you want to get your ass kicked?" I'm like, "What the fuck is that? Like, some kind of fucking bully ass motherfucker."
Come on, Ray. Come on. No, like, I'm
traumatized, Roland.
Fuck off.
I won't even save the princess anymore. I've given up on that bitch.
Fucked.
I couldn't even touch control because shaking.
It's not worth it's not worth the hassle, all right? No, like I would get that a lot from.
I pee myself.
I also got that a lot from my other roommates after you. They thought I was like very passive aggressive about that sort of thing, which I wasn't. Like they thought I was just being sarcastic. Like I'd play games with Johnny, and I'd be like, well. That was cool, you know. Like I was trying to be nice about it. Like
it's nice that you're trying.
Yeah,
let me show you what a real video game player is.
And then
I don't know.
And the thing is, it was their games too. Like I didn't. So that kind of made it worse.
So I was also a roommate of Roland's.
Yeah,
that played a fighting game against him.
I don't remember that. Which one was it? Sorry.
It was Capcom 3.
Oh.
And he spanked me or whatever, but like mostly like I was just like, oh, let me try to like do the thing that this character designed to do or whatever. That's how I like play like magic and all that stuff. It's like, I don't care if I win, just like, can I like perform the way that
and I'm pretty sure I let you do your thing.
No, man, but look,
I didn't say I let him win.
You stomped my ass.
Daniel, I
got a few hits in. Hooray.
Daniel, I don't know if like Roland interacts. I mean, he obviously doesn't interact with you the way he does with me. With me, and when it comes to video games and shit like that, it's a very maniacal, malicious piece of shit that smiles every time like he fucking kicks your ass. Look, see, he's doing it right now.
I've met him, dude.
No, I know, but I mean, I don't know if he did the same thing to you, but I just feel it.
No,
I'm traumatized. I'm just. It's all coming out now. It's all just coming out.
Yeah.
No wonder you don't play video games, right?
I remember trying not to smile. That was one thing I remember doing, but it wasn't working. I was always just like this.
It's your fucking
the whole time.
It's you with the fucking Jason glasses and always kind of like slowly turning around, just looking after get your ass kicked. Like that's exactly what it was.
The time when like I realized like, oh wait, Roland's just like this is when we played Magic together because he had a deck where it was like, oh, fuck you, basically. You want to play cards? Fuck you. Oh, you're trying to cast a spell? Fuck you.
Oh, was that one of those counter return? One of those
counter fucking Demir Mill deck.
Oh yeah, that was. Sorry. Yeah, well, so my favorite characters was mostly Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
Yeah, we got that.
And we went through that. And then a cycle of other games. And,
but like,
so shut up, Roland.
Back to this. I'm trying to remember exactly how many Mortal Kombat games there have been, and there's been a shitload.
It's fucking stupid because like there's like the official count for the proper fighting games, but as we've mentioned, there's like the Sub-Zero
offshoots,
like
game. But I know you all mentioned that like wasn't Street Fighter like more popular around the world.
Yes.
But like, are there more Mortal Kombat games than there are Street Fighter games?
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
Absolutely. Like,
why do you think that is?
So many like offshoot games, like side scroller looking bullshit, where it's
because
like
you have so like they sort of branched out into areas that Capcom wouldn't. For the most part, Street Fighters early on they stuck to the Super Nintendo, and after that, I think they went into the PlayStation. But there was never, they never did anything with the Nintendo 64. They never did anything with I don't believe there was ever a Game Boy Street Fighter game. They never did anything with the Game Gear. And like Mortal Kombat, actually, they went out and did like you can find then there's dog shit. They had, there was a GameCube.
They even had a fucking Tiger Electronics.
Mortal Kombat.
Wait, was there Mortal Kombat for the Game? Was there Mortal Kombat for the Game Gear?
Yes.
Man, yes, they had a Mortal Kombat for Game Boy. And
I'm so mad that I didn't have that game.
It was absolute crap. Yeah. And
actually, that is actually a fascinating point, like Roll, because you have like Street Fighter filling certain parts of the market,
right?
But they
stuck to it.
We're not going to fuck with
of the possibilities. They were very safe. Like Capcom was always very, very safe. But the thing is, as well, is that they were very calculating because of that. They knew what worked and they stuck to it, and they just sort of refined that further and further. And Midway took chances. They were just like, fuck it, let's try to like make as many of these as possible and like build up this huge fucking universe and like get this out to as many like different demographics as we can manage. We can support
that money.
Yeah.
Money.
Capcom's like your high class horror as like very limited clientele, spends a lot of money. And Midway is like, I'm going to do it the other way and expand my fan base. I'm going to, just sleep with as many people as I can for a little while.
So like
to get to that horror.
Fucking, Major Mortal Kombat, fucking
sex workers.
They're the $5 whore, but they negotiate
and it should be legal
always.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But again, like, so I want to say the main reason that they were doing this is because, like you mentioned, they were not as popular as Street Fighter. They were not as they were well known, but not for the same reasons. The main claim to fame that Mortal Kombat has always had, and I'm sure you guys all know about this too, is the blood, the fatalities, the amount of brutality,
the violence. Your parents were playing, so.
And like in the early 90s, this was, this was the controversy,
Actually, Ray, speaking of that, were your parents okay? You asked that earlier, but
I'm asking you guys because I never had a console.
Oh, okay.
Like, the most I had was a Nintendo, and then I had a Game Gear at some point. Yeah. But those are things I had to beg my parents for.
You could have played Street Fighter 2010 or whatever.
Yeah. No. Well, I played all games at my cousin Joe's house. Yeah, because he had all the consoles. He had the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and shit.
Ray,
but they didn't care though. They didn't give a shit.
You and I have like a similar, I guess, like console history. Most of my shit was like arcade or ROMs on the PC.
Yeah.
But when you came home from your cousin's house, were they like, we smell Mortal Kombat on you?
Right.
No, they were more like, have you been listening to Primus? Like,
no. I would never. I'm a good Christian boy.
How dare you know you've been using, Ray?
Well, that or the band Ugly Kid Joe. Do you know that band?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Ugly Kid Joe, the band. Yeah. Well, you probably heard their songs, but my cousin's dad was a little bit more liberal on the fact that he would just let him listen to like all kinds of music with like cuss words and shit like that.
Yeah.
And my house, the most cuss words we were allowed to listen to, or that I was allowed to listen to, was "Working Class Hero" by John Lennon. That's about it. Like, there's one cuss word in there, and that's about it. Like that was an acceptable cuss word in a song.
I never really got to listen to much like any music at home because we just. I couldn't afford a stereo. I couldn't afford cassettes or anything. Yeah, right. Like, I do think one of like the first albums I got was actually the Mortal Kombat and the Mortal Kombat and Annihilation soundtracks. I want to say, but it was like years after the movies that came out already. Like I didn't.
That's really funny, man.
And my family was weird. Like, and also we were poor, so like we just couldn't afford any of that stuff. Because I had to buy, I had to buy a stereo. I had to like. Go out, to the mall and
You know,
fucking
most
hunt
people
this shit down.
do have to do those things.
Yes, but that took time and money, which I generally did not have, you know. And
again.
Sorry, that was the did I mention the poor thing? Yeah, so that wasn't until later.
People again.
Yeah, good for them. But anyways, this is about me. And so getting back one of the main things that was very innovative about the original Mortal Kombat games is how they were made. They used a motion capture of actual,
I think that was I think that was probably the most exciting part of the video game was the fact that it seemed lifelike.
Exactly, it was
and then the blood made the violence seem more real.
Yeah, shit, that's
hyper realistic. And
that man really died.
Oh no. Why did I pay the quarter to kill him?
One is at least 2 or 3 for me in the arcades here. That shit was expensive. That's what really sucked about going to the arcades and getting your ass kicked by like some fucking pro or whatever. Because like, fuck, I just wasted $1.50 on this in quarters.
Now
I was always going to the Terminator 2 game with the Aerosmith soundtrack.
Oh,
it's Judgment
or
Day.
fucking Revolution X. Speaking of Aerosmith, to fucking play that
Generation.
Fuck yeah.
Generation X.
Yes. Fuck yeah.
And it would shoot like
the
fucking
CDs. It would
vinyls.
shoot the CDs. Yeah. The fucking the special attack or whatever. Fuck yeah. But like the fucking Terminator 2 arcade was bad fucking ass.
No, yeah, but
that was great shit.
Put the quarter in and then push start and it's Judgment Day. That was the shit, man. Yeah. But I was gonna ask you, did you guys have
to the first official Police Quest episode?
Did you guys have that whole culture where it was like, I didn't experience it, but where you would put the quarters like up on the arcade, like kind of put your.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That, but no,
I did that.
I've never seen that.
I did that because, and the reason like a lot of people did that was because when you died, like you'd only have like a few seconds to continue.
Yeah.
So it's like 9, 8, 7, and you're just like fumbling in your fucking pocket trying to get those quarters out. Instead, like people will put them on top to be like, all right, let me just. All right, we're good. Because it fucking sucked to be that one asshole or whatever, trying to fucking play pocket pool with yourself to pull out those fucking quarters in time. And not to even mention if God forbid, you've only got quarters in that fucking pocket instead of like other change, and you reach out and you pull out a penny or a fucking nickel or some dumb shit, like an asshole.
Just fucking like shoving like quarters in there. Just like,
exactly. And like, don't be that.
Can I give you like 25 of these?
Right? Suck to be that guy. Or if you had it mixed in with tokens, which were sometimes the only things that they would fucking take. So it's just like, oh, fuck you. Like, I don't want to start all over. I'm going home. I'm gonna go play.
I'll be honest with you, like I never stayed long enough to like do any damage on
my brother and I
game.
would be left there for like hours. Like
no, I would be there probably like an hour, maybe an hour and a half at the most.
El Central Mall over in Far. They had the Nickelodeon arcade.
I'd eventually go to the skey ball and try to win some tickets so I can get some like shitty like fucking games, shitty fucking toys.
Spider ring or bouncy ball.
Eraserhead, sweet.
I got vampire teeth.
Yeah. Whoa! You got that many tickets?
Whoa!
Big,
Wow,
high roller.
Somebody has been fucking hitting those hundreds.
Well, yeah, man. Like I gotta like.
It takes a little hook, right? You gotta throw the skee ball into the net and like bank it.
No, also that fucking basketball one. Like I was really good at like making the fucking.
Ooh, check out Mr. Baller.
Secret.
All right. I mean, I'm not saying I could
somebody up there.
I'm not saying I could be like NBA
Mr.
or
Badass
anything.
or whatever. You went up to the one that like it would turn the ring to the hoop to the side or whatever, or like move further back or like tilt forward.
Shit, what fucking arcade were you at, motherfucker?
No, actually,
Shaquille O'Neal would actually come out.
Shit.
Yeah, those are fucking.
There was a fucking game where the fucking
like it would move.
Yeah.
No. I know it would move, but like he's saying it would like turn to the side.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck was that? I know the one that would go front and back.
Right. Yeah, we all know that you were really just playing the baby game. Like, the ping pong balls in the cups.
No, it's the one that you push the basketball with the air and then
whack-a-mole.
No, man, you never remember that one.
You know what I'm talking
about. Mr. Gaddy's in Harlingen.
Mr. Gaddy's.
Like Ninja Turtles game where it was like a stupid ass game. They gave you a lot of tickets for it, but it was just a water sprayer,
Oh fuck yeah! You knock down the clown's teeth
in the face.
Are you?
No, and then like push it back based on water pressure or whatever. Fuckload of tickets, and it was like the easiest game fucking ever. It's just like hold still.
Yeah,
yeah. No, the one you're talking about is that one was badass because she shot the fucking ball.
It was a
out
fucking cannon, and I was trying to point it at like people that I was there with. I was like, oh fuck, it doesn't turn. Damn it!
The sound would make too.
Yeah, that shit was fucking cool. Yeah, where you knock out the clown's teeth.
Yeah.
I would go to like the fucking badass ones for me was always Peter Piper and Funtime Pizza. Funtime Pizza specifically. Because I'd fucking go and play like the Avengers games and an Altered Beast. And,
what is this Funtime Pizza?
It's over in McAllen, dude.
The old X-Men
it used to be across from.
I don't know.
Yeah, it used to be across from the Plaza Mall.
I was a Gorilla George kind of guy.
What? All right.
Do you remember those?
Yeah.
I had like that little fucking roller coaster. Well, roller coaster was just like something that would spin you around in a circle. Like I don't know, that shit was crazy.
Gorilla George, damn. Yeah. I went to one of those once. The one I can remember, I want to say it was in Harlingen or somewhere like on that side.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Hey, so
it might have been Browntown.
Really important question. Speaking of pizza places that have games, do CC's still have like little arcades like in the corner?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, but it's like so small now.
Yeah,
it's garbage.
It was like a fucking closet the last time I saw it.
Yeah. That's basically
cool stuff there.
They're still there, so it's still like we have a vestige.
I remember playing like Silent Scope and I forget what else like over at CC's.
That reminds me,
my barbecue pizza.
Did you ever go to? Did any of y'all ever go to Game House when it was open?
Fuck, that sounds
on the
familiar,
Lana.
dude.
That's the one where the guy got shot out front. You guys
Wait, the bar?
Yeah, it was owned by.
Yeah, I went there
I'm
once.
Talking, like as a kid, like yeah.
No, yeah.
I was never got shot there.
So like the place he's talking about is across from
by
Metropolis.
The people who own DeLorean.
It's across the street from Metropolis.
Oh, dude, I don't remember that. I don't remember any arcade at the time that I was going there.
So. No, I love that place. I went there once with a friend, and I played some of the games. Like
but they were all like weird knockoff games. Man.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't Time Crisis. It was like some weird ass thing I never heard of before. But it was essentially Time Crisis.
I've heard of that game.
I think I played like the Lost World there,
it's like
or
Space Dilemma instead of Time Crisis or some shit. I don't know.
Oh shit. So
Chuckers.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Is there any other information about the games we need to know before we start talking about the movie?
We haven't even fucking hit the movies yet.
No, we haven't. But like, okay, so I guess
we should turn this into a Plebe Quest episode, man. Like,
right? They have like. I just sort of wanted to end like what we've been talking about before, the cameos that these guys have been able to take advantage of. The past few iterations of Mortal Kombat were cool as fuck. Like I was telling Ray before, Mortal Kombat X or 10, I think was the one where they really started throwing in the cool shit because you could play as fucking Freddy.
Yeah.
Krueger, you could play as fucking Jason. Leatherface was in there, and they were bad fucking ass, dude. They could tank some hits and fuck you up. It was just cool as fuck. And then Alien, the Xenomorph from Aliens was in there, so was Predator.
That was in 10, or was that? I thought that was in the new one. I believe
no. In the new one, it's RoboCop. It's
Rambo comes out now.
Rambo, fucking Terminator.
Actually, so I own the new game, and I bought a few of the characters.
Oh, you bitch! So, which ones did you get, man?
RoboCop.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking Terminator.
Nice.
Fucking 1 sec.
Fuck.
Pull my Steam and look at it because I don't remember.
They're really cool.
Unfortunately, Nightwolf is also a fucking buy a dude sort of thing. Yeah,
because Nightwolf was actually a really, really powerful character. He's another one of those characters that has a shit ton of versatility. He can pretty much just sort of manage most of the any kind of situational silliness that a lot of the characters do, because like in the new Mortal Kombat, like pretty much everybody has some kind of fucking teleport move. Everybody's got some kind of like pull shit, some freeze garbage going on. Like it kind of has gotten a bit watered down as far as like the like unique abilities inherent to each character. So I assume that's just like a balancing thing, you know, like it just makes it fair. And to not be able to like just spam the same shit like how you were saying, like doing the sneaky shit or whatever the fuck, like it doesn't quite work. You have to be a little smarter about it.
I did buy the fucking Joker, I believe.
Yes, that's right. Joker was a good one. What else am I forgetting? I mean, there are like a few of the others. I was telling you guys before, Sean Ray earlier, they incorporated the skins from the actors that played Raiden and Shang Tsung in the first Mortal Kombat movie. So Christopher fucking Lambert is in there. So is Kerry Tagakawa. Fuck, I keep forgetting like if his last name is pronounced with a G or a K. Tagakawa, I believe, as Shang Tsung. And I believe the first... I forget the name of the actress. Is it Bridget some such or another? The one that played, she played Sonya Blade in the original movie, and like they put her face into that as well. I don't know or care if they did that with Johnny Cage because I've never been invested in that character. He's always just been kind of like a joke guy to me. He's the dude that does the splits and punches you in the dick. Funnily enough, interestingly enough, as an aside to mention, which I wanted to, bring that up before. I didn't go into like a whole lot of like trivia and or just sort of like inspirations for the games. But originally, Ed Boon and John Tobias wanted this game to star Jean-Claude Van Damme, and it was going to be a Van Damme fighting game. They couldn't do that. What they did instead was they made Johnny Cage. So that's why he's got the splits. Because that is the Van Damme signature. Right? Yeah.
Well, no, Bloodsport.
Thank you. Excuse me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bloodsport. Yes, you're right.
He does a split in the...
So that's Johnny Cage to a T.
Yeah, you know what? Now that you're saying that, I can kind of see that.
It's there.
You want an autograph?
So, let's get into the movies, I guess. Like,
yes.
One thing.
Excuse me.
So Spawn was a part of Soul Calibur, right?
Yes, and that was the one Thank you. Fuck.
He's also an MK11.
Yes, and he is a bad. You bitch.
Buy it now.
He's bad fucking ass. He's a really good character. He's fucking cool as shit, and he's voiced by the guy that did the Spawn voice for the animated series. I forget the guy's name.
Oh shit.
He did Goliath in Gargoyles. He's he was one of the co-stars in Pitch Black and Chronicles of Riddick. He
was in Requiem for a Dream too.
Yeah, he's a
really Portman.
Thank you. He's a really fucking good actor. Like, what's up, Chuckle Fucks?
I said Natalie Portman, and you're like,
oh Jesus Christ, you bitch! I thought I heard. Like, you asshole. You fucking asshole. I heard something else.
You're so excited too.
I heard something else. All right, go to hell. I heard some other shit. And
I'm bound anyway. It's all good.
I need to find it.
Actually, today I was going to wait for the Valley Strange episode, but today I'm actually going to renounce Satan.
There we go. Why? Okay. Why? He loves you so. Yeah. He loves us all.
Because actually, I saw him on a podcast about satanic ritual abuse. There's a former barrister from the UK, Wilfred Wong, or Willifred, I can't remember what the fuck his name is, but it's fucking amazing because like he gets questioned by the podcaster about isn't it kind of like a love yourself, worship thyself kind of doctrine in like the Book of Satan or whatever? And church. He's like, well, yeah, that's just part of it, but then it allows a window for abuse. And it was fucking crazy.
Sounds like some like cult shit.
Since people are doing like crazy cult shit in the name of Satan, I'm not down with him anymore. So I'm just going to cling to Nintersog, who is, at least down with
That's
fear,
where this is going. Fuck off. That's, oh man. Okay.